Hi everyone, this is Tisch Aitken, and I'm here to discuss this week's happenings. There's a lot going on. We are just clearing the energy of Neptune because Neptune stationed direct on November 27th at 15 degrees of Pisces. And Neptune, we feel the energy 5 days before and 5 days after a station. And that means it magnifies that energy of that planet. And in this case, Neptune is very much about dreams and imagination and fantasy. And I thought about an episode on Mad Men, which probably is and was my favorite drama series ever on television. And there's an episode, the final episode of the first series, called The Wheel. And in the episode, Don Draper, who's the main protagonist of the show, is pitching an idea to Kodak about a wheel-like storage device for a slide projector. And he talks about implementing nostalgia in selling this idea. And he says, in Greek, nostalgia literally means the pain from an old wound, a twinge in the heart far more powerful than memory alone. And I think that this fall, well, first of all, with Neptune, it can very much make us sensitive and lost in dreams and reverie and all of that. But also this particular fall, we've been dealing with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and it entered its shadow in the middle of October, and it actually clears its shadow on December 6th, and it enters the sign of Sagittarius on December 9th. So we're getting finished with that Mercury and Scorpio story, but that was very much about dealing with unhealed wounds and about, I think, examining things that a lot of us have forgotten or neglected, or that have still, these persistent wounds. And it did go back to last fall when Venus was retrograde in Scorpio, and it initially retrograded at 10 degrees and 50 minutes of Scorpio, close to where Mercury stationed direct on November 20th, which would be 11 degrees of Scorpio. So going back to that story, and when Saturn, which is the taskmaster where we're grounding things, was in Scorpio at the late degrees in the summer of 2015. So it's been an emotional time for many, and this is also obviously a very nostalgic and sentimental time of year. The holidays is a time where we create new memories and we celebrate with people, but of course we remember the people that are gone, that are no longer with us, and it is a very reminiscent time. And it's a good time to feel nostalgic, but I think it's very important because we have a huge shift this week. Tomorrow, actually, Jupiter is leaving Sagittarius, where it's been since November 8th of last year, and it's entering the sign of Capricorn, which is not about nostalgia. It's not about reverie. It's all about pragmatism and making choices and moving forward and taking action. And it's amping up this big Capricorn narrative that we're all dealing with in 2020, which is beginning at the beginning of the year. Really, it's, right on, game is on, and it's on January 12th, Saturn and Pluto will join up at 22 degrees of Capricorn, and Jupiter will not be conjunct that point, but it will be meeting up with Pluto 3 times in Capricorn in April and June and November of next year, and that's going to expand the transformation and the release and letting go of things that are not working in our lives. But this whole conjunction, this big conjunction on January 12th, is going to be a time of restructuring, of reconfiguring our lives, of letting go of things that are not working, of grounding things that are, and of making critical decisions. And we are going to see a lot of transition now. We are seeing already, I've already seen this in clients and stories and in the news of big exits and changes. Of course, inevitably that one begets the other. We get big beginnings with this too, but of big change. And we're also going to be entering eclipse season because we have an eclipse on December 26th at 4 degrees of Capricorn, a solar eclipse in the cardinal sign, and that's also a big deal you know, eclipses are a time of big endings and beginnings and unexpected changes. And then we have a lunar eclipse on January 10th, 2 days before that conjunction, which, by the way, has not occurred since the fall of 1982 and in 1983. So it's been a while that they met up at 25 degrees of Libra, and they have not met up in Capricorn for over 500 years. So this is a big time. We're in it now, and it's really, it does not need to be daunting or scary, but it might feel a little bit of those, you know, type of emotions. And I've been waiting for this for a few years. I've been wondering how this is going to play out on the collective and then on the individual level, and we're here now. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I think for all of us, now that Neptune's direct, Mercury is clearing its shadow on December 6th, and it's entering Sagittarius on December 9th. Mercury is how we communicate, how we do business, how we think about things. It's going to be in Sag until December 28th, but we have Mercury direct, Neptune's direct now. So we really have all these planets direct. Jupiter is now entering the cardinal sign of Capricorn tomorrow, like I said, and it'll be there until this winter solstice of next year, December 21st. So now we've got a lot of, we've got Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter all in the cardinal sign of Capricorn. The south node of karma, what we're meant to release, is in Capricorn. And the fact that Saturn and Pluto are conjoining there for the first time in a little over 36 years, and then that Jupiter and Pluto will be meeting up 3 times next year, is very much about, again, about facing what is not serving you, about taking action. You cannot just remain, you know, passive in this. You know, you have to really, you know, get things going and figure out what your plan is. It's about planning about the future. Capricorn and Saturn rule time, and you cannot waste time now, I think. I think that's something to really focus on. And I think it's going to be a lot of activity now, and I think it's going to be a busy time. It's nice that Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius during the Sagittarius season, because you know, it is at least a hopeful place. It's not the strongest placement of Mercury, but it is convivial and jovial and festive. But I do feel that this is going to be a serious time. You know, this is the season of truth, of karma. Saturn rules karma, and it's expanding that in a big way. So I wish you all a lot of luck. I think with Jupiter changing signs now, you want to focus on how you can expand your goals, your what you want to achieve in 2020, what you want to really commit to, you know, and what is working, and being honest with yourself about what is not working. And I wish you a lot of luck and happy holidays, and thank you very much. Take care.